Why do some people feel free and others do not in the same system, in the same parameters, in the same society? Why do some people feel really free, even if they don't like their job that much, they still feel free, and other people hate their job and feel trapped? Why is that? I was thinking about this last night a lot, actually, and I felt I got to make a video about this. Like, to be honest, so many people have jobs they hate. This is, like I said, I saw some survey. I don't know how accurate this was, but I think a third of people worldwide apparently hate working, and then a third are neutral, and then the third love it. But I don't know about that study, but what I'm trying to say is a huge percentage of people don't like their job. So it's kind of easy on one end to say, like, why do these people, they don't feel free? Because they're forced to do something most days they don't like doing. Okay, that sort of makes sense. But you get other people who, they sort of tolerate their job, and they don't really like it, but they sort of just do it, and oh yeah, they have a good time, and they go out and train, they go out and dance, or I don't know, parties, whatever people do, hobbies, rock climbing, anything, right? Why are they feeling free? Other people don't feel free. Well, I think I know why, to be honest. Different people have different brain chemistry. As a result of that, different people feel different about life, and they feel different physically. So for me personally, I get quite severe fatigue, particularly if I'm doing something I really hate. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, even if I'm doing something I like, I can get tired, but it's a different type of tired. It's like a pleasant kind of tired. I don't know how to explain it. If I train for like 4 hours, I go dancing, so I feel like tired but good. I don't know how to explain it. Often I feel very sad, but I still feel like a sort of satisfied tired. I don't know how to explain it. But if I do something I hate, and yes, I hate working jobs. I hate it. I'm going to say it again for those people who don't like it. I don't like working a job. And say it with me. I don't like working a job. Now, I find doing things that I hate, yes, I say hate, I hate it. It makes me not just sad, like, okay, it's something, say for example, you have 8 hours at your work that day, or shift or whatever. It's not like for me, I go in there for 8 hours and then, okay, so like I've done my it's not good for the 8 hours, but then I leave. Sort of like, a prison. Like you go to, criminals, they go to prison and they sort of get out of prison. They're like, yeah, I'm out of prison. Well, some of them are institutionalized, but let's just forget that. It's like you go to your job and, okay, so you have your bad 8 hours, then you leave, and then suddenly it's the weekend. You can just have the time of your life. This is the thing. My body does not work like that. When I'm doing something that strains me and makes me depressed, I get physical fatigue. Like it's not like some sort of, oh, I feel tired. My body actually shuts down. It's actually quite horrifying. I find it hard to stand. I find it, I'm almost like I'm tired. I have to lie down. It's very, very distressing feeling. I get this. So why I bring this up is because it's related to the whole topic of this video. Why do some people feel more free than others if they are in the same system? Because for some people, the cost of doing a job is much, 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 much higher than for, let's just say, the average person. So for me, coming home from a work context, I am coming home not with like energy to go out and do something fun. I'm coming out with let's try and force myself to do something fun because I'm about to collapse. And then when I do go out and do the activities, I feel even worse because the little energy I had left, I actually use that up as well, training or whatever I do. So then as a result, I don't train as much, I feel worse, just the whole thing just makes me feel really bad. As a result of that, I feel like I'm in a prison because I just don't have energy to do anything. And I think I've seen some comments talk about this as well. Like you go to work and it's like you feel so tired on the weekends. And that's the thing. If you are a person that has depression, low fatigue, well, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just, I'm not an expert. I'm just guessing. Maybe you have autism and masking takes a lot out of you. Maybe you have ADHD and just having to sit there and do something boring because, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD and like I find boring stuff really makes me distressed. Like if I'm sitting in like a chair or something, it's like, I gotta do this email. I really don't like it. And that's why I feel less free than say someone who doesn't particularly like their job, but you've got 2 days off a week and 4 weeks off a year. I can go to Thailand or Vietnam or and go to America, go on a little holiday or go to Europe or whatever people do. That's the thing. For me to travel, I get very badly jet lagged when I travel. So when I flew to like London, that flight was a very long time. We had a stopover. And I was so jet lagged. Like when I got there, it took me like 5 days to recover from the flight, when I went to London. And I mean, even to go to America, I'm from Australia on the East Coast. So like, for me, it's very, it's a long way to fly and I get very tired. But for some people, I've known people who they have their 4 weeks off a year and they fly to the UK and then they fly to some other country and they go to UK then to Canada. It's all one big fun and games for the 4 weeks they're off. Even if they don't like their job, next year we're going to go back to Canada or America or wherever the heck they go. For me, I have such bad fatigue that then when I fly, it makes me more depressed because the jet lag triggers something in my brain where when I'm jet lagged, it does something to my brain where I feel really, really flat and depressed. And so why I'm saying this is because it leads in, like I said, to what I'm still saying about the video is that different people experience it differently. So if you really, really hate work and work is taxing on you physically and mentally, you're not going to feel free. Even if you do get 2 days off a week, or you get you get the night time in the weeknights to do whatever obviously that's not true because you've got to do chores and all this other crap. But, some people can also sleep less. That's another thing. Some people, I saw this study where apparently some people can have 5 hours sleep, but they have the same equivalent of 8 hours sleep for a normal person. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this the right way. They can sleep for 5 hours, and for their body, physiologically, the body can recuperate in 5 hours as opposed to 8 hours for a regular human, right? So let's just say you are a person that needs, 10 hours sleep or whatever, right? You are at a disadvantage in society unless you have a whole bunch of money, which is like what I'm always saying on this channel, make money, As I make more money, I'm going to probably talk more about this. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you could only, like one of my friends, I think he has this thing that he could only sleep for 5 hours, and he didn't, like his brain didn't affected by it. Like he can sleep more, but he was sleeping 5 hours, working this crazy high paid job, and he had all this energy to go out, and I was like, wow, how's he do it? His brain doesn't need, he can sleep for 5 hours and feel fine. And he can work night shifts and weird, he was doing this weird, this thing for the government. I don't know, it was like a secretive thing. He wasn't really allowed to tell me much about it, but he was like a really high sort of something in the government type thing. I don't know, some sort of security thing. He had really high clearance. And, he was telling me he could work because it's a, government thing, it's 24 hours, and he was paid a lot of money to do that. And he could sleep 5 hours a night. On short notice, he could go in for an extra shift or whatever it was he was doing. And the thing is, I can't do that. I get very jet lagged, tired. And yes, I get jet lagged even if I don't, travel, just from waking up at weird times. It messes my chemistry. My brain chemistry is a bit messed up, to be honest. And so for me, working a job takes a lot out of me, more than the average person. And so that's why when, if people want to, talk negatively about this, I'm just being honest. This is how I feel. I'm not intending to harm. This is just the truth. I feel bad when I work a job, especially full time. And even part time just puts me in a shit mood, to be honest. I don't know, even something like working at a cafe or something. I don't know, just all the types of jobs, they all make me depressed, to be honest. Because there's so many factors, like I said, it's a psychological prison. It puts me in a crap mood. But for other people, they just, put up with it. And, they might have a really happy family life. We've all had different upbringings and lives, and we've all had different romantic situations. So I've known people who just got really lucky in love. They met the love of their life when they were, a certain age, and they got married, and they have, they're very happy with their life for whatever reason. Whether you want to get married or not, it's not relevant. Some people, they meet who they want, they marry who they want, and it's like they're happy, right? Which I might make another video about this topic because it's very interesting. But, some people are lonely, and so if you go to work and you're lonely, I know this from experience here, if you have a nice relationship, it changes everything about the dynamic of everything. I mean, there's problems that can come from relationships too, obviously, but if you're lonely, that taxes your energy, and then you find yourself when you're lonely going out and doing things just to not feel lonely, and that drains you even more. And what I'm trying to say is we all experience the world differently, but for some reason, normal humans can't process this. They're like, what do you mean you feel sad? Look, some people feel free because from their perspective, the sacrifice of going to work is actually not that much. I'll give you an example for me. So I haven't, for some reason, talking to some people at training about this, I have an unnatural, I'm not the fittest guy. So if I'm boxing, I'm doing cardio, I get tired. In the ring, I get tired. I'll be honest. I'm dying. I get really tired. But for some weird reason, I have no idea why this is, my muscle tiredness, so if I'm wrestling or I'm weightlifting or I'm any type of martial art where it's not like a cardio martial art. What I'm trying to say is, it's not like I'm using more muscles. I'm not wording this very well because I'm obviously not a health professional. I can train for 4 hours. It's absolutely insane. I can just wrestle for 4 hours. I can just train, and I don't get tired. It's weird because even if I'm feeling tired, my body just somehow my muscles have a lot of energy. Even though I have fatigue, my muscles can lift. It's the weirdest thing. I know this makes no sense, but just hear me out. And so for me, there's people out there that criticize me, right? They criticize me and they're like, oh, you have bad attitude, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, you get fatigued from your job or whatever they want to say to me. I guarantee you, in terms of wrestling, Olympic wrestling, I will outdo you. I will well, I'm not saying this to brag, but we all have different things in life that we're good at, right? I'm probably more creative than most people, just to be honest. I'm not saying that, it's the truth. I'm not a person who comes on this channel wanting to say, I just want to say how I feel. The way I feel creative, I'm good with, physical things like weightlifting, all these things. And if that person these people who criticize people like us, they would be terrible in a physical labor job, for example. You understand what I'm trying to say? We're all different. So some people sit there in their office job and they're like, oh, you're lazy. But if you worked out at the gym with me, you would be completely out of, you understand what I'm trying to say? We're all different. I'm not saying this to try and have a go at anyone, by the way. Unless you're insulting me, that's different. But I don't judge anyone, to be honest. What I'm trying to say is work has a different thing for different people. Like I've known guys who are physical laborers and like, is it okay if they're tired? People who want to have a go at people for being tired? Is it okay if physical laborers get tired? Oh, that's apparently okay because like labor. But if you're in an office and you get tired, like, someone like me, I get very tired. Apparently, no, but this is why people feel different levels of freedom. Another thing I want to touch on as well is different minds have a different perception of freedom. So for me, because I'm a creative person, the idea of like creating stuff and that appeals to me a lot, to be honest. I love to be creative. I love to talk to people and learn stuff. I have a very sort of creative mind. And so for me, if I'm not in that mindset, I feel very restricted. Like if you tell me you have to send this email at this exact time, I don't know, it doesn't feel good for me. Where someone else, that's a small thing to ask. I hope the gym example made sense what I was trying to say. Like some people, I could take them, off the street and say, let's go to the gym now. And they'll be like, oh, this is too hard. Like I have a friend like that. He's really, he works in an office, has lots of energy in the office, but he's so like, he can't even, like he gets so tired. And I'm just saying like, I get tired in a boring office environment, but then I don't get as tired if I'm like, that makes sense. So we'll have different perceptions of freedom. And like for me, the pain of the job causes so much distress in my life that the 2 days a week you get off, right? That just isn't enough compensation. Like my friend actually explained this to me really well. He said like everyone has a level of like, how do I say? When there's a reward for what they get. For me, the bar is just much higher. For a normal person, you go to your 9 to 5 and you get your little salary and it's like, okay, that's a good deal. I guess I sacrifice my life and then I get a bit of money, okay. Like pay all this tax, whatever. But for me, the bar's much higher. It's like, look, if I'm going to sacrifice all this time, I better be compensated for it. I need more. I want to be able to like travel more. Like I need more. And I think because my brain chemistry, I have a creative brain. I don't know. I'm a person. And the problem is you can't even talk about this without you being the bad guy. That's why I'm saying this on the channel. You can't say this without being the bad guy. We all experience life differently. We all have a different perception of like jobs and we don't necessarily control that. The other thing as well, what I want to touch on as well, we don't control necessarily the types of jobs we can get. There's this huge myth in society, which I've talked about before. It's like, oh yeah, you can just, if you don't like it, you can get another job, which is a flawed thing to begin with. But like, someone who might have been fortunate enough to get the job they desire, for example, they think that, oh, well, you don't like your job, you can just get a better job too. It's not true. Like, you see people who like, they work in like fast food or something and they are sad because they're in this fast food restaurant, they don't know how to get out of it. And, it's not like these people, if they could, do you think they wouldn't? Like, people have this weird thing in the world, like with depression and all these things. Do you think that if there was a way to fix it, we wouldn't fix it? Like, if there was a way to click my fingers and make working less painful, I'd do that. Like, sure. Like, I'm not purposely being defiant. I just don't like working. And so as a result of that, it makes me feel very, very not free. Some people, they get institutionalized in prisons. I saw a documentary about it. And they don't feel caged. Like I saw this thing with this guy who'd been in America for like 40 years, and he was like, oh yeah, we have ice cream on a Saturday and all these things. And I thought he doesn't feel like, he said, oh yeah, I don't feel like I'm trapped anymore or something. He was saying when he first came to prison, he felt trapped. Now he doesn't feel trapped. I don't know. They get institutionalized. And I think for some people, institutionalization at work happens much quicker. I used to speak to a lot of my graduate friends at university about this because some of them would get the grad jobs and it was like the most miserable thing ever. But then very, very shortly after that, they'd sort of adapt to it. And I don't know. I just think that like we're all different and life has a different meaning to different people because, we're sort of born. We don't really know what life is, to be honest. Like it's this weird, like how we get consciousness, how did this happen? I'd love to talk about that more in videos, but I don't know. But the thing is, we don't know what life is. And so it's like, okay, life happens. Some people want to spend their life just exploring the world. Like I want to travel all around the world. I want to, all these interesting places. Like I want to see all the animals. I'm just interested in stuff. I want to, go swim in the ocean more. I want to like learn about, I'm interested in these things. I'm not interested in sitting in some stupid office and being told what to do. That makes me feel miserable. For me, I look at life like we don't know how long we have on this planet. We don't know how many lives we have, if at all. We don't really know. So we may as well, in my opinion, I want to just squeeze the juice out of life, so to say. I want to scuba dive. I've already done skydiving, which is pretty wild. But the thing is, I want to actually experience what life has to experience. Like to me, that's what life is about. Like people want to say there's some sort of meaning you ought to have or purpose. No. For me, I just want to soak up experiences. I just want to hang out. I love meeting strangers. I love talking to people. I'm not that talkative when it comes to typing, by the way, but I'm really talkative with my mouth. So I might do some live streams and we can all talk to each other, which would be super cool. But what I'm trying to say is I love just doing lots of stuff. And they say, oh, you've got ADD, you don't want to sit in the chair. Oh yeah, so what? I don't want to sit in the chair. I want to explore life. And so for me, a job feels much more constricting, where for someone else, like, look, if you're watching this, feel free to comment and explain this. If you maybe don't hate your job that much and you just sort of, you tolerate it. And then so for you, you might be for example, there might be two people in the exact same situation. One feels free, one doesn't. And a lot of it also comes down to social things as well. Like some people just have a personality where they sort of click with office culture. I don't really click with office culture. Like, I don't know, my brain, like I don't click. I only do well in like social situations where it's like I don't like officey culture, like, because then you have to be careful what you say and you can't joke too. I don't like it, to be honest. And only certain things you can say at certain times. And that's what I'm saying. Like for me, that's a psychological prison. But for someone else, that might be nothing. That might be absolutely nothing. Oh well, like I was talking to someone about this. Like, you know, if they're doing something they like and, you know, the time flies by, if the time for you at work flies by, then yeah, to be honest, it actually probably doesn't feel that bad. If you don't get physical fatigue, say you have a body and your brain chemistry is healthy, you have, you know, healthy, like you have happiness flooding through your brain 24/7, going to a job's probably not that bad for a lot of people. Even if it's not a good job, you're still, you know, oh, well, I got my nice partner and I've got, you know, I'm going to have children or whatever makes people happy, you know. When you have a different brain chemistry, the world is very different to a lot of different people. You have a different brain chemistry. Not only do people treat you differently, but the world feels different. So, you know, pardon me. So going to a job interview, say you lose your job, for example, someone with like a normal brain chemistry will just go, I'm going to apply for 200 jobs, no big deal. But for me, you know, I'm like, man, I don't want to waste my time going for job interviews and like it's like I don't, because I'm already depressed. To me, a job feels much more of a cage than for, you know, the average person. I mean, I named my channel Uncaged Eagle. Like, I'm definitely not the type of person who wants to be caged, but I just think different people experience life so differently. And another thing, I keep having ideas. I'm supposed to wrap up this video, but I have so many ideas. I'm just making this up as I go. But I've known a few people, different people who've been born into money, right? Now, the ones I was friends with were very laid back and didn't like care. They just had a good life. But I've met this one person and he was born into a very rich family, but he had this thing about like, oh, I don't know, I want to like live up to what my father wants. And I thought like, look, he's going to work at his father's firm but he knows he's going to inherit, how do I say this? Because he knows his father's going to give him a whole bunch of money if he works for a couple of years at the father's firm. He has literally no reason, how do I say it? He might not like it for a couple of years, but he knows he's going to inherit such an incredible amount of money. So of course it's easy for this guy to go. Like if you said to me, you know, okay, you got to go for 3 years to this firm, but we're going to give you like hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different for everyone. And I guess the thing, people who are, like, I'm just being honest, people who are born into a lot of money and then they become self-made, like, okay, my friend who was actually doing this, I respect him a lot and he's an incredibly probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. But it's much different when you are completely like on the poverty line trying to start a business. It's a completely different mindset. So for someone to just be like, oh, like I've known a lot of people that I used to know from law, and their families did like land developments. They built big buildings and car parks and stuff. And they would get a law degree and then work for the family business. There's a whole bunch of these people I've met. And, you know, they would work very hard for a couple of years and then they get all this money. And I thought, well, of course it's easy for like the father gives them the job. Like, it's a different psychology. So that's what I'm trying to say. These people I'm talking about now, they might have a full-time job, but it's not the same for them as it is for a lot of other people. So this is why the whole topic of this video, why do some people feel free while others do not? Even forgetting the fact different people like jobs differently, it's because of the lifestyle around it. Your chemistry, your personality, I think what the future holds for you is a really, really big deal. Just the fact these people know that they're going to inherit the family business, like worth an insane amount of money, that completely changes the psychology of working 9 to 5. I'm sorry, it does. You know, it really, really does. I know from my experience working at like certain places, like there was a company I worked at where I was supposed to get a percentage of that company. The deal didn't go ahead for a whole bunch of reasons, but I could have actually been a very rich man by now. But basically the deal didn't go ahead, but I would have been actually quite rich if this had worked out. When I was working at this company, I was so like, even though I didn't particularly like going, I was friends with the owners, but like I didn't really, because I thought I'm going to get a percentage of this company, and it was a very profitable company too, by the way. I was like very, very like I was cool. Like, even though I didn't really want to go in, I still went in. I was like, I'm going to get some of this business. And you understand what I'm trying to say? But in the moment the deal didn't go ahead, I was just miserable. You understand? Like, life is so subjective. Life is so situational. But human beings want to pretend it's all one big monolith. It's all one big thing. We all live on planet Earth together. We're all in the same boat. No, we're not. Some are on giant yachts and some are on little life rafts. It's a completely different world. And that's why different people have different perceptions about freedom. So I hope this video made sense. I hope it made sense what I was trying to say. Feel free to let me know if you have any thoughts about this topic, because it's quite, it's something I've thought about quite a lot, to be honest. And thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.